Laura Loomer, the nightmare-looking coomer, decided that she would attack a Medal of Honor recipient after the United States Army posted about him being a Medal of Honor recipient. That's right, a right-wing mind-dead mannequin with the face that could only scare a child because of the amount of unnatural shine that comes off of her forehead, thought that the Army posting about Medal of Honor recipient Florent Groberg, a United States Army captain who at the time was a lieutenant that tossed himself onto a suicide vest bomber and threw him to save some of his soldiers, ending in his own injury. She thought that was a bad look for the Army. Explain that. Well, she also said why she thought it was a bad look for the Army and kind of on Florence, a Medal of Honor recipient, once again, that put himself against a suicide bomber to throw away from his troops and save his men. So, the internet of veterans has gotten a little upset, me included, so now I'm gonna trash this disgusting looking blob of melted plastic with eyeliner on the internet. But before I do, and I know this video is gonna get demonetized as I'm absolutely berating a woman, a word from this video's sponsor, Aura. Are you tired of scammers getting your phone number and blowing up your inbox with a bunch of spam? I know I am. Well, you gotta blame the data brokers that are out there. They're the ones that are buying and selling your data from stupid, disgusting companies that ask you to put your personal information in for everything and anything that you buy, and then selling it to scammers, hackers, governments. And they do it without your consent all the time. But you can ask them to stop, and they will. But if you did it on your own time, it would take forever, and that's why Aura's here. They make it easy by doing the hard part for you, getting your freaking information off the internet. Because once they see it, they boom, send out a request and immediately get it taken down. And plus there's benefits to getting Aura besides that. Get alerts if your info pops up on the dark web. Real-time fraud alerts for credit or banking. 24/7 monitoring to make sure that your identity is secure. Plus you get a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and more. And of course, US-based support. 24/7. Try Aura for free for 14 days at aura.com/angrycops and click the link below. And in those 2 weeks, you'll discover where your data is being exposed and sold. And we're back to this failed science experiment of seeing what would happen if you put Silly Putty in the microwave. August 8th. 8/8! The only thing Laura ate was a whole bunch of used tampons because she had to count the calories. Anyway, the United States Army posted this beautiful photograph of Florent Groberg, Medal of Honor recipient and United States Army infantry captain. And the Army's post goes on to tell people in a thread, hey, this is how he saved the lives of United States Army soldiers. By jumping on a guy with a suicide vest on, throwing him the frig away from him and his boys, and then him detonating, injuring young Lieutenant Groberg. Now I, as well as many other veterans, stand alongside the United States Army when they promote or push forward positive things in the media about their soldiers, the people that have stood in line and fought for this nation, all about it. But what made this post more special was that the attack that Officer Lieutenant Groberg foiled that day, partially, even though 4 of his friends, 3 of them being soldiers, were killed, was that the attack happened on August 8th.
That's important.
Oh, the United States Army making a post about a Medal of Honor recipient saving his battle buddies, putting himself and his life on the line to attack a suicide vest guy that was gonna detonate, did, and injure him on the anniversary of the day that it happened. Wow, what a normal tweet, said everybody with a brain. But here's what happens when idiots focus on politics a little too much and they can't pull their head out of their own ass. Laura Loomer decides that she's gonna jump in the conversation. I'm gonna read this in the tone that an annoying would. There are probably so many people who the United States Army could honor who have received the Medal of Honor, but who did the Army choose to honor instead on their social media page under the Trump administration? Florent Groberg, a Democrat who spoke at the 2016 DNC where he campaigned against Trump in support of Hillary Clinton, who was praised by Obama. First of all, you f***ing idiot, anybody in the military has the right to choose whatever political party they want. And by the way, if you get a Medal of Honor, I don't give a f what you believe in. You could be an anarcho-capitalist that hates cops and isn't very funny when I debate him on the Timcast Pool Show. Riots from George Floyd.
Okay, that's cool. I'm speaking now.
If you get the Medal of Honor, you're untouchable. The only thing you can do is kill somebody. And even then, you probably had to do that already to get the Medal of Honor, so you know what? It's a wash. You realize there's more than one political party in the United States, right? Do you know how many people have served under different administrations? You dunce. What do you think you just join up with the president that you want? I've gone through Bush Jr., Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump again. I've literally served under a Democrat president longer than I have a Republican president. But does that mean that all my medals are because of my political views, you shiny foreheaded, high cheekbone, golf ball implanted face? And guess what? When he went to the DNC and he said, hey, I think that we should vote for Hillary, he didn't even say that. He was just like, she's been preparing for this a long time, and I think that she's ready. And he didn't wear his Medal of Honor. That was the most political thing he fucking said. And let me break this down for you, political p-head. Did you know that Thorne is one of the most outspoken Medal of Honor recipients for veterans care? He's been with the President of the United States, President Trump, President Biden, President Trump again in the first time, Obama, Clinton, anybody that will listen to him talk about helping veterans, he talks to. You stupid pea-brained, potato-faced looking prick. It's almost like Republican or Democrat, we need them to combine to help veterans. Oh no, Obama liked him. We gotta throw him out now. He got a compliment from somebody we disagree with. Sorry, bud. Plus, let's be honest, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, and a lot of old school Republicans were like, Trump's too much of a head case, then let's just go with the Democrat whose husband was able to decrease the debt. It was a first term and you're acting like this is some sort of holy holocaust, and he said, I choose not Trump. You think that the US Army of all places would actually invest in some proper vetting, but nope. Proper vetting? He's a Medal of Honor recipient, you stupid harlot. Why don't you go up to the rest of your political friends and polish their belt buckles with your bronze-tanning forehead? Inadequacy, screw-ups, zero political knowledge of anything in the Trump era is totally accepted by many in this Trump admin. Holy shit, he's a war hero. The United States Army isn't a political entity. The United States Army can post about the greatness of its soldiers regardless of their political leanings whenever the it wants. It's a win for the Army. Kind of like when you paint your eyebrows on just right because you overplucked them and don't have any hair remaining in them. Looking like a Porto with its tan eyebrows. Under the Army Secretary Dan Driscoll, Sec Army, there have been several instances of either him or the Army promoting anti-Trump leftists on their official social media channels. He voted for one of two people that you can choose from. It doesn't mean you're anti-anything. Just makes you think that one person can do the job and they might be better than the other person. What kind of pea-brained is this? Hey, listen, you living purge mask face. Hey, hon, if you want to tell us what you're thinking, shove a tube off the front of your snatch, let out a couple notes, and maybe we'll think about seeing ya. Remember the Vindman screw up? That has nothing to do with any of this. The Army's posting about a hero on the day that he lived. They had to find an immigrant who voted for Hillary Clinton and spoke of the DNC as Obama's guest. Who gives a fuck that he's an immigrant? You know what I do? I care that he's an immigrant. I care so much that this man from another country came to the United States during a time of war, said I will enlist in the Army, not just the Army, but the infantry, frontline battle, go over for that country, engage in combat, save his battle buddies' lives and return. He's 10 times more American than your American-born ass and has assisted more people and done more for this country than you have spreading your loose lips and queefing on Twitter. I've seen suicide bombers with their faces ripped off their skulls look more natural than yours. You're a real-life version of Dwight Schrute when he takes the mask off the CPR doll and wears it. For Christ's sake, Flo is at Trump's inauguration. Just another observation. I like to pay attention for the details. It's the details that will get you every single time. Well, it is the details that'll get you, isn't it? Like the fact that they posted it on August 8th, the day that he did his actions to receive the Medal of Honor, saving troops, even though 3 other troops and an advisor died. He's done more for this country than you ever had, you sad, online, grifting, divisive poster. I see no difference between you and a 12-year-old on Call of Duty just spamming the word it over and again. Tell me, what have you put on the line for America, except for your dignity? Botox-induced, brain-dead troglodyte with a front butt sitting above your cooch. You can't wear a form-fitting dress because you ain't got no form. No wonder Florida didn't want to elect you to a representative seat 3 times. Boom, 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 boom. Loser, loser, loser. Details present patterns and patterns present red flags. My God, if you're not one of the biggest walking red flags I've ever seen. You ever see Escape from LA with those doctors and nurses that are so freaking plastic surgeryed up their faces don't move?
My God, they're real.
Yeah, there's your red flag, hun. Why couldn't you take some of the fat from your fupa and inject it into your lips instead of that weird gross saline making you look like a trout about to suck down a worm? Oh, but it doesn't end there. You see, Flo responded. He said nice things. Hey, listen, you've got the right to say the things that you want to say because I fought for those rights while overseas. Even though I was an immigrant, I came to the United States, I saw the dream, and I went for what I thought was right, which was service. What did Laura say to that? Huh? Oh, not a thank you for your service. No, that, huh? Okay. No. Hey, you know what? My bad. Maybe I took the immigrant thing a little too far. Maybe politics don't really matter because you sacrifice so much for our country. No! Medal of Honor recipient explains why he's a Republican voting for Clinton. Oh no! Oh no! He voted for not my best friend again, so that means I'm right. You never served anything or anyone, but you chose to on somebody that did almost give the ultimate sacrifice for his countrymen, his new countrymen. You shit on somebody you didn't know, somebody you'll probably never meet, and that's because the only thing you serve is additional Vicodin and wine to you and your friends when you're getting that extra lip filler.
Am I scowling? I want to be scowling.
Boy, I sure do hope that instead of handcuffing yourself to the front doors of Twitter headquarters, you handcuff yourself to a rock and throw it in a river. And while I'm here, let me address something else. You don't get to touch our golden child. Now, the Medal of Honor recipient Dakota has made a recent post on Instagram where he says, hey, listen, veterans gotta stop tearing each other down, all right? It's leaving it open for other people to tear us down, and I will push back and say that it's important for veterans to call out one another and not be turds the right way, not just being retarded posters. Because no matter what happens, when an outsider comes in and tries to tell us what to think about one of our guys when they don't know about what we've done or the things that we've gone through together as a brother and sisterhood in the United States Military Services, we all gather together to immediately on that idiot. Laura Loomer, your dumpster diving rat-faced coomer. Best way to support the channel is to buy a shirt. It's August, I've got 2 new shirts. Boom, action drill. He's a gosh dang action figure. Boom! Barracks Party. Barracks Party's gone after August. It's just gone. You know who needs a barracks party? Laura Coomer's face. Get all that foundation off of that thing with a mop and a squeegee. There's no pepper box version of this because you, Laura Coomer. Cheapest way to support the channel is leave a comment. Instead of leaving a comment here, I'd love for you to leave a comment on Laura Loomer's Twitter, Instagram, and everything and ask her why a Medal of Honor recipient service should somehow be in question because he was an immigrant and one time didn't vote for your best friend that one time. Oh, I'm just gonna say this one thing in case I wasn't completely clear to every other idiot who wants to go after some of the most outstanding gentlemen in military service that happen to have a Medal of Honor recipient. If you ever come for one of us, we will ruin your reputation. Bet on it. Don't you ever come after Florent, nicest man in the world, you must have lost your mind. Don't you ever come after one of ours again. Smell your from here.